Welcome to our afternoon session. Um, we'll sort of follow the same format as we had yesterday. So a meditation, then an opportunity to join a group if you want to, and then another meditation. Yeah. I think we'll start by doing a little bit of chanting, just as a way of kind of coming into the body. Let's chant. We'll chant the Amitabha mantra, which is a rather nice mantra, I think, and it's quite in line with the approach we're trying to take here. Really, in some forms of the Pure Land Buddhism, which is really based around the figure of Amida Buddha, which is a form of Amitabha. Amida is what they call it in Japan. And I'm going to be oversimplifying here, but they kind of, you call a name or you call, them, in some of these schools, chanting is the main practice. And the way they look at it is that what we're trying to do is just accept our conditioned nature more and more deeply. So from a sort of Buddhist perspective, you could say, when we get this, don't we, in the life of the Buddha, where we're told that he had countless other incarnations, both as a human being and as an animal. I don't think we need to necessarily, of course you can take it literally, but we don't necessarily have to take that literally. But it's interesting to think about why it's there, even if it's not literally true, why it's there as a metaphorical or poetic truth. And of course, in a sense, our conditioned nature goes right back to the beginning of the universe, you could say, or maybe even before that. But right from the Big Bang, in some sense, our conditionality starts there. And if when we look at it from that particular perspective, which is only one of obviously many perspectives we can have, when we look at it from that particular perspective, this idea that we can sort of untangle, to use that word, untangle our conditioned nature is rather futile. There's no way really, because it's so deep, if you like. Our conditionality is so deep. And to see this in a sort of positive sense is to understand that all these conditions, let's say from the Big Bang, we'll just stick to this particular manifestation of the cosmos, this particular cycle of the cosmos, starting with the Big Bang, which is in a way not that different actually from Buddhist cosmology. But anyway, it's not so different. I think I mentioned the other day that the Vajrasana, or the place where the Axis Mundi, the Bodhi tree, was situated, is symbolically regarded as the first part of this sort of gaseous universe, first point in which it began to congeal and become what we think of as matter, something solid. So we look, if you look, one way we can think, well, if our conditionality goes right back to that point, it's sort of completely impossible to untangle it. But the other side of that is that everything that's gone before has is now manifesting what we might call life, or even what we might call reality, is manifesting now as you. Yeah. So part of your heritage not only is all the animal, vegetable, mineral life of the universe is now, for whatever extraordinary and inexplicable reason, is now manifesting as you. So you've got this weight and depth behind what is here now. It's got this sort of history. The question I often find myself sort of pondering these days is why should it be? I mean, not that I think there's an answer to this, but why should it be that the world is choosing to manifest as me or you the way it is? And what does it want from us? What are we kind of here for in a way? Why are we existing? What is it that we can bring into the kind of fabric of reality that's of worth and meaning? And in a way, this is at the heart of spiritual practice, isn't it? The search for a sense of meaning, a sense that your life has some meaning, And of course, that's kind of not given in a sense. It's something we have to make for our own efforts, in a way, to give our lives, make our life substantial and meaningful is our task, isn't it? Anyway, in the schools of Pure Land Buddhism, the focus have the Amida or Amitabha Buddha as our focus. What we are asked to do is simply accept our conditioned nature. It's sort of a turning things on its head in a way. In most Buddhism, we have some kind of sense of a developmental model, but here we've just got this idea that actually all you have to do is accept your conditionality. When you accept yourself fully, in this way of looking at things, when you accept yourself fully, you're also open to the power of Amitabha, the blessing. You open yourself to the blessing of Amitabha. Amitabha is a beautiful, deep red figure which brings together in a very touching way meditation and love, really. Amitabha has become quite an important figure for me because it does bring these two aspects of what we're doing together in a very strong way. And I think sometimes, strangely, perhaps, there's not enough emphasis put on love, really, when it comes to meditation. Even sometimes when we do the metta bhavana, it's kind of not given that much emphasis in a funny sort of way. as if, anyway, I could go on and on. Let's not do that. I think I talked quite a lot this morning. So, mantra chanting potentially opens the body, and for it to work in this sort of way, you should just chant in a natural sort of voice, you know, a relaxed, natural voice. You know, not be too worried about. I mean, in a way, doing these online retreats, of course, we miss chanting with others, which is a lovely thing to do. But sometimes when we chant with others and we don't feel particularly confident about our voice, we can be a little bit inhibited. So at least on an online retreat where you're probably by yourself, or maybe some of you are with a friend, I don't know, probably by yourself, you don't have to worry about being in tune. This is a very Western idea, being in tune, I think. You don't have to worry about that. It's not, chanting isn't singing really, although I know in art in the West, because we're Westerners, sometimes when we chant, it's done in a form that is very close to the idea of singing or chanting. So it's just a slightly tweaked natural voice, really, just your natural voice. More or less like you could go from speaking to chanting, you know. Om Mami Deva Rihi, Om Mami Deva Rihi, Om Mami Deva Rihi. This, and it's slightly tweaked, but only slightly. You know? Try and keep the throat relaxed. Anyway, we'll see how we go. It's a nice mantra, so try and just enjoy. You know, we should just enjoy chanting. It's a very unifying practice because it's a physical, energetic practice as well as a mental practice, as well as involving the mind. So it's a practice that unifies mind and body. So we'll chant the Amitabha mantra and then we'll just sit with what's there. And maybe you can bear in mind this idea of just fully accepting yourself as you are. So let's begin just by taking a moment and keeping the posture, yeah, to treat it as a meditation. So try and keep the posture. Try and keep the face relaxed. So just some sense of the outside world, some sense of where you're sitting, some sense of making the posture in relationship to the world. I really like this idea of the posture bringing together above and below the earth and the sky. We're using our body as a ladder or a bridge, a stairway, a vine that connects, or a tree, of course, that connects earth and sky. So I'll just go off at my own thing, and you can just join in as and when you wish, obviously. I'm using my Standby Mala here. Tight actually. So we'll do 180. It is a short match for the Amitabha matches, so it shouldn't take too long. And not too fast there. Not too fast. Not too slow, not too fast. Give yourself time to take a nice in-breath through the nose rather than sort of gasping for breath. Om Amideva Re. 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 Om Amideva 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 Just noticing what you're doing or not doing. Not doing is good. You've lost, just coming back, being here. Letting Amitabha find you. Letting love find you. Have some sense of your arising within the world, arising. Mountains, and the trees, and the rivers, and the cities, the animals, and the birds, and the fish, and the ocean, as human beings, everything arising in this moment. You arising in this moment. Relaxing into the mystery of being itself. Unfathomable. What the Taina said about the soul. The soul is unfathomable. Like the four great elements cannot find their beginning or their end. Likewise, your own self, your own being, you cannot find its beginning or its end. It cannot be abstracted from the rest of being, cosmos itself. reality manifesting in this moment, in this moment, in this moment. Okay. I think you probably all know the routine by now, so we'll have a 20-minute period for groups, for those who wish to join one.
Great. So I will open the room in a few seconds, and you will get the notification. And if you prefer not to participate, that's okay. Just dismiss the notification, and I will put you in the waiting room and let you know before the time is over. Hope everyone has a great group. Just give me 1 second to do a small adjustment here. Yes, excellent. 1 second, please. Okay, great. I'm opening the group now. Thank you very much. Come back. Let's wait a few seconds before everyone returns. Excellent. Seems that everyone is back here. Welcome.
Hey, welcome back. So we're just going to do a period of just sitting. In this practice, we just use our posture and our breath to stay present and relax. There's a poem to encourage you. Old favourite. This is Robinson Jeffers' Carmel Point. The extraordinary patience of things. This beautiful place defaced by a crop of suburban houses. How beautiful when we first beheld it. Unbroken field of poppy and lupin, walled with clean cliffs. No intrusion of 2 or 3 horses pasturing, or a few milch cows scratching their flanks against the outcrop rockheads. Now the spoiler has come. Does it care? Not faintly. It has all time. It knows that people are a tide that will rise and then ebb, and all their works dissolve. Meanwhile, the pristine beauty lives on in the very grain of the granite, safe as the ocean that climbs our cliffs. As for us, we must uncenter our minds from ourselves, unhumanize our views a little, and become as confident as the rocks in ocean on which we are made. Just sitting. Okay, so that's the end of the afternoon session. There's always another session tonight at West London Buddhist Centre, coming from Buddha Lila. And then tomorrow our last day of the retreat. So hope to see you in the morning.